Good morning. Today we are going to start with health status of society. Every society having different health status. Tribal, agrarian, industrial. The fact is that industrial society having more health status than all other society due to their facilities, educational facilities, economic opportunities, etc. Lack of infrastructure and facilities. Tribal society have been suffer from lower level of health status. As we had been learned that tribal people living in deep jungle. So which is the main reason? There is no hospitals and schools and infrastructure. Next section, man and society. Man needs society to fulfill their needs. Man is a social being or gregarious, sociable in nature, which means everyone loves to interact between them, enjoy group life. Man choose groups to enjoy their life, including familial, educational, economic groups. Human life, individual and society always go together. Individual can't live without society. Interlock with each other. Individual creates society. Society mold individual personality. Man needs society to meet their needs. What are the needs? Physiological needs, security needs, love and affection, extreme needs, and self-actualization. Every needs are fulfilled by the society. So man needs society. Relation between individual and society. First, individual and family. The individual have been constantly interact with every components of society. First, individual interact with family. Family members, husband, wife, children, father, mother. Second, individual and religion. Individual have been interact with religion to fulfill their belief needs. They believe towards the supernatural and follow a worship. Third one, individual and educational system. Individual interact with the educational system for to fulfill the need of education in primary, secondary, higher secondary, as well as higher education, which is essential for good job. Then individual and economic system. After the education, individual gain a job and earn money, develop their economic status. 5. Individual and community. Every individual living in a community somebody from urban, others from rural. So create the community by means of various groups, including familial, educational, religious groups, together form a community. 6. Individual and social groups. Social group means two or more persons consciously together, a particular purpose. So every social group created by individual to fulfill their needs. 7. Individual and welfare organizations. The individual love to do well-being, welfare. So they formulate the organizations. For example, welfare for child, welfare for adult or old age, and create the welfare institutions to promote well-being of vulnerable people. Then individual and political system. So democracy is fundamental for individuality. The government created by every citizen of our country by means of elections, poll, choose the MPs and legislators and make law to control the society become pleasant. 9th one, individual and ecosystem. Eco means environment, environmental system. Individual interact with environment constantly. If positively interact, create good environment. If any individual degrade the environment, cause the environmental damage which is directly affect the individual health. So these are the relation between the individual and society. Next section, role or functions of nurses in society. First role, caregiver. To every people, every sections of the people, an individual, all ages, mainly care give to environment, environmental health, promotion. Second, prevention of diseases. Prevent communicable diseases as well as non-communicable diseases and manage the medical conditions. 3. Promotion of health. Various nursing services to promote holistic health, including environmental modifications, health education, immunization, etc. 4. Curative. Treatment provided to the deceased persons and cure the diseases by the nurses. In clinical setting, 5. Rehabilitation. Different types of rehabilitation as well as occasional rehabilitation done by the nurses in the clinical setting as well as in community setting. 6. Restorative. In some situations, they destroy this society by the natural disasters. The nurse doing wonderful role become next role, directly healthcare provider. In a healthcare system, nurse only directly contact with the client and provide the nursing services, which is a essence of the healthcare service. 8th one, as a health educator. Nurse educate the health regarding diseases, how to prevent, and aim to promote health for all, everyone and everywhere. Ninth one, manager and supervisor. Management and supervision. Supervise the nursing services in the clinical setting as well as in community setting. 10th one, planner. Nurse have been planned. In clinical, it is called as care plan, as well as planning in communities to prevent the diseases, control the pandemics, epidemic, etc. 11th one, researcher. Nurse have been conduct research in every discipline, mainly medical, surgical, pediatrics, mental health, maternal health, as well as environmental health, and study findings which is very useful to solve various healthcare issues in our society. Look at this picture. Next section, difference between society and community. This is important for examinations. Society, community. First, society is a web of social relationship, but community is group of individuals. Second, society no need definite geographical boundaries, but community having definite geographical boundary. For example, urban and rural. Third one, we feeling is not essential in society. The reason is that society is a number of communities, but comparatively, community having lot of we feeling or sentiment of relationship. Fourth one, society is wider. There can be more than one community, which means society means 2 or 3 or more communities together form society. But different types of families, religion, schools, educational system, which means as well as occupation, etc. So fact is that society is made up of number of communities, but community is smaller, is only concerning is part of society. Fifth one, society is abstract. It can change, but comparatively in communities cannot change. The reason is that every community having sentiment of living. For example, when in this rural, every villages having different culture. And common objectives are not necessary in society, but in every community having common interest and aim and objectives. Seventh one, society having likeness as well as differences, but in communities more likeness, which means similarity than differences. Introduction. Any man born, do not, infant only born. After the process of socialization, a person become result of variety of experiences and social influences. A person come to process a personality. So how to know about? A person become disorganized. Here, look at this terminology. Personal means person. Disorganization means abnormality in personal life. The meaning of personality, the term personality is derived from Latin persona, means mask. Each mask displays different characters. Definition: a person's pattern of habits, attitudes, traits, which determine his adjustment, his environment. So every individual having different pattern of habit. Habit means their way of lifestyle and living. For example, food habits and attitudes, which means negative attitude or positive attitude, and display different traits to adjust to the environment, which is called a person character or personality. Then we need to know about what is meant by personal disorganization. Know person and disorganization. What do you think about personal disorganization? Individual fail to meet requirement of society. Result to develop personality problems and become disorganized. So any person unable to meet their requirement by means of lack of adjustment, in this by means of display of habit, traits. For example, habit concept. If a person having positive attitude and experience good person, but negative attitude cause disorganization. Then approaches to study of personal disorganization. First approach, biological approach. This approach concerning the biological factors, including neuroendocrinal, genetic, and other biological factors. Second, psychological approach. This approach concerning mental factors, their attention, perception, learning, memorizing, etc. Third one, sociological approach. This approach mainly concerning social factors which cause personal disorganization, mainly familial, religious, educational, occupational, economical, etc. Then determinants of personality. First, environment. Physical environment, biological environment, and socio-psychological environment determine the personality and personal disorganizations. Second, heredity. Heredity means some personal characters derived from father and mother and heritage through genes. Third one, cultural factors. Culture means pattern of behavior which is determined by material and non-material cultural traits. Fourth one, personality, determined by past experience, which is very important one. If a person having good experience can develop good personalities and away from personal disorganization. Next, causes of personal disorganization. As we had been learned that why a person become disorganized, mainly habits, attitude, trait. Which type of character a person adopt? Somebody adopt bad habits which cause disorganization. Look at this. Alcoholism is cause personal disorganization. It's a bad habit. Then diseases due to abnormal lifestyle. Third one, drug addiction. 4, complexity of society. 5, increasing the desires, through individualization. 6, rapid learning. 9, culture. Apart from this, various other factors, causes, mainly lack of sleep, fear, anxiety, then mainly concerning the time management. If a person lack of time management, which leads personal disorganization. Then bill, which means the economic instabilities, workaholism or work. Next, types of personal disorganization. First type, trauma, traumatic effects. Trauma means unforgettable events, which may be mental injuries as well as physical injury. Example, or trauma, any incidents, etc. Second one, habitual disorganization. Habit means, example, sleeping habits, food habits. A person, they disorganize their habits, never seem to be able to organize. Third one, ancestral disorganization. This disorganization derived from previous generation. Fourth one, social disorganization by means of familial or educational or religious abnormalities. Fifth one, chronic disorganization. Sixth one, depressed disorganization by means of mental stress due to working conditions, familial factors. 7, time disorganization. Physical disorganization by means of physical disorders. 9th one, mental disorganization due to mental stress, mental illness. Then culture and personal disorganization. Culture have been largely contribute to the personal disorganization. Reason is that the mainly material cultural traits as well as non-material. Largely material. If a person use good materials and become organized their life, and unstandardized material used by a person which may cause the personal disorganization. So culture is a key element, cause the personal disorganization, mainly inner conflict, cultural changes, etc. Then personal reorganization. We are nurses, need to know about it. How to reorganize the personality. First, the physiologist, eminent specialist involved to reorganize the personality. but nurses collectively reorganize the personality of each individuals in clinical setting as well as in community. The first is that the physiologist is a specialized person who study about physical abnormalities and which cause reorganization or disorganization and try to reorganize the personality by means of the rearrangement of or cure the physical difficulties. Second, psychiatrist, who is a person study about mental illness which cause personal disorganization and try to reorganize the personality. 3, psychoanalyst, who analyze the psychology, mainly mental factors, including learning, perception, memory, intelligence, analyze it and try to reorganize the personality. Fourth one, sociologist. Sociologists have been analyzed social factors, including familial, religious, educational, and analyze it, try to reorganize the personality of a person. So these are the person to find the cause of these mainly physiological causes, mental causes, psychological causes, then social causes, and try to find remedy to reorganize the personality. Then personal disorganization and health, which has been directly affect physical health, mental well-being as well as social health. Then role of nurse on reorganized personality. Students, nurses doing a vital role by means of various nursing services to reorganize the personality. First, mental health nursing. Study about mental factors and causes, reorganize the personality. Second, child health nursing. Try to reorganize child personalities by means of child mental health services, nursing services. Third one, medical surgical nursing. Study about physiological factors, physical illness and surgical condition and rehabilitation that try to reorganize the persons. Fourth one, community health nurses. Identify the personal disorganized persons in the families through family study, family case studies. Identify the persons and try to reorganize the members of families. Next section, socialization. Socialization we will learn next class. So now questioning time. Thank you everyone. Thank you all. Questioning time.